Welcome to the Mystic Media channel. I'm your host, Rabina Rastabani, aka The Realist Astrologer. And today I am doing the free reading for the month of February. So this reading is for Clem Bell, and she is very desperate regarding her son. So she said, I'm desperate to help my son. He was born November 17th, 1991. He has no social life, spends all his time watching YouTube videos, mostly of Sarah Sutasetti, Brother Polite, Boyce Watkins, and others from the conscious community. Please help. So when I read this, I was like, oh wow, I gotta help her. I gotta help her understand what's going on with her son. So when I pulled your son's chart, first of all, he's a Scorpio, and he's a strong Scorpio because he has his sun conjoined to Mars in Scorpio and also conjoined to Pluto. So he has a stellium in Scorpio, and that can cause him to be very obsessed with certain things. So something that he is interested in, he's liable to become obsessed with it. So that is part of the reason why he's so stuck on, watching videos from members of the conscious community. And it cracked me up because you put conscious in quotes. So, and I agree with you on that when it comes to a lot of those, so-called conscious leaders. But, with his chart in particular, I knew that he was dealing with some strong Cancer energy because you talked about the conscious community and how he's stuck on Boyce Watkins and Sarah Sutasetti and all that stuff. So, right away, I wasn't surprised to see that his South Node is in Cancer because Cancer is the sign of nationalism. So you can also look at it as Black nationalism or the Black conscious community, what have you. So people with strong Cancer energy are liable to gravitate towards nationalism. So that's exactly what's going on with your son. So with his South Node in Cancer, he's just naturally prone to seek out groups or people that will promote nationalist ideals. So in his case in particular, it would be Black nationalism. So it's going to be very hard to get him to move away from that or to step away and stop being so obsessed. So you're going to have to kind of leave him be with that. However, he is coming upon his Saturn return. So his Saturn return is going to occur in 2020. So that should light some fire under his butt in terms of being goal-oriented, or should I say more goal-oriented. So he might start being more serious about his future. And also, I just wanted to mention, his Saturn is in Aquarius, and that can point to not having many friends or not having friends at all. So just know that his karma is very much wrapped up into friendships. But with him being a 17, he really doesn't have a strong need to congregate with people because 17s are prone to be loners. So he definitely has some loner traits. And then with his North Node in Capricorn being conjoined to both Uranus and Neptune, that exacerbates the loner tendencies. So he's just naturally prone to be a loner, so you really can't do anything about that either. But what I suggest that he does in terms of his professional life, so he doesn't have to step fully away from the whole Black nationalism piece in the conscious community, but what he can do is he can channel that into his Capricorn North Node by creating a business out of that. So the first thing I thought of was history, or selling historical items or historical books, or doing historical videos about the Black experience. Also, maybe being a seller of vintage items, seller of Black vintage items, that he could get started on eBay or Etsy or whatever. It is in his destiny in this lifetime to be a business owner, to basically make his own way in life and to be as self-sufficient as possible. But that Cancer South Node keeps him in that very subjective, personalized frame of mind. It can make him be a homebody, but in this lifetime, he's supposed to make his mark upon the world. But it may take his Saturn return for that to happen, for him to find his purpose. So like I said, his Saturn return is going to occur in 2020. So he has a couple of more years to go before he really starts to become more goal-oriented and starts to become more self-sufficient. The thing with the friends, you may not have that much luck in that department, but he is only supposed to select friends that are going to help him achieve his goals, that are going to basically help him to get to where he needs to be. So a lot of his peers may not be the right type of friends anyway. So it's actually good that he doesn't have a lot of friends, because they would probably keep him in that Cancer South Node frame of mind even more. So hopefully you found this helpful and enlightening. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you would like to get some more in-depth information about your son, you could order a reading at Rabinah.com. That's RAHBINAH.com. And if anybody else would like a reading, you could go to my website and order a reading as well. Peace and many blessings. So here's the second free reading video for the month of February. So there were so many good questions that were posed that I wanted to do more than one. So this one is for Angela Sanders. And her question is, how do I make friendships and relationships last? All my relationships, friendships, family ships end from me speaking my opinion. How do I avoid arguments and keep a friend? So Angela Sanders was born July 8th, 1991. And let's see. So I have your chart pulled up. And you are another Cancer node, South node. So it's interesting that I picked two Cancer South nodes. So about your Cancer South node in particular, you have to understand in this lifetime that you're not really supposed to be making friends and being too dependent upon those emotional bonds that you create with others, because that is dealing with your Cancer South node. So you're going to have to move beyond the whole emotional neediness frame of mind that Cancer South node can produce. But you have it extra hard because your sun is in Cancer as well as your Chiron in Cancer. But that Chiron in Cancer alone will result in conflicts with family and close friends and all of that stuff. So with your South node in Cancer, you just have to understand that a lot of people aren't going to like you in this lifetime, but that's okay, because you're supposed to make your own way in life. Just like what I was telling Clem about Clem's son with the previous reading. You're supposed to make your own way in life, and you are going to attract some haters. And because you are born on the 8th, that coincides with your North Node in Capricorn. It's also conjoined to your Neptune and Uranus in Capricorn. So you and Clem's son are born in the same year, which would make you guys Nepturanians. That's a term I have coined to describe people who are born between the late 80s and 1996. So about 1989 and 1996. Those are what I call Nepturanians, because you've been placed here to fulfill a special mission in life. But at the same time, it may be rather hard to make it in life because of that conjunction of Neptune and Uranus. And then to add insult to injury, Neptune and Uranus are on your North Node in Capricorn. So when it comes to friendships and associations, it needs to be on a professional level, because you need to place more focus on your profession in this lifetime rather than family, home, and those concerns of the heart or those emotional matters. The more you place focus on trying to create emotional bonds with people, the more you're going to be disappointed, the more you're going to end up getting your feelings hurt. So another reason why people may have a problem with the way you communicate is because you have a tendency to say exactly what's on your mind with your moon in Gemini, but also you have a tendency to basically come across as an authority figure. So a lot of people don't appreciate that type of tone that you may take at times, because they think that you're talking down to them. So you may want to check your tone sometimes. But again, you speak with this air of authority because you are supposed to be an authority in this lifetime. So again, like I said, there's going to be people that don't like you, but you're supposed to say, I don't care, screw it. Because you're supposed to be doing your own thing. You're supposed to be having your own business, or at least be a head of a company or some type of executive or whatever like that. And when you're in that type of position, you're going to make some enemies, because when you're in authority, not everybody's going to like you. So just knowing that you get into these conflicts with some of your family members and friends and things like that, that should just let you know that you're supposed to rise above all of that emotional turmoil all of the minor petty beefs and focus on your career and making your mark upon the world. You also have a stellium in Leo, so that doesn't help your situation about being able to communicate in a way that doesn't come across as so authoritarian, because Leo can come across as very authoritarian too. Leo is a boss. So you just have this natural thing with you where you speak like a boss, you act like a boss, but some of your friends and family members may not take too kindly to that type of tone that you use. So try to reserve that for your business and for your career, that when you talk with an air of authority, but you really can't help it with that stellium in Leo. And then you got your moon in Gemini, and it's making a trine to Saturn in Aquarius. So you are built for business. You are built to be an entrepreneur. You're built to be a boss. So you can't help it that you speak with authority. So, you're just going to have to explain that to people sometimes. Like, look, I'm destined to be, this VIP, and I'm sorry if I come across as that way sometimes, but that's where I'm headed in life. So, either you can, just adjust to my communication style, or I guess we can't really hang out too much or whatever like that. So I hope that, that was helpful for you and insightful. And if you would like a more in-depth reading, you could go to my website, ravina.com, order a reading. Same with everybody else. If you would like a reading, you could go to my website at ravina.com. Peace and many blessings.